Question of today's video is, was the Milwaukee Bucks season a failure? And this question was raised by Giannis Antetokounmpo after a reporter asked him this question. They said, was this season a failure for the Milwaukee Bucks? And Giannis went out there and used his amazing quote, and he went out there and said basically that the Milwaukee Bucks season wasn't really a failure. I guess what he was trying to really say is that every season is a lesson and every season is a step. Now, the way he's really saying that, it makes 100% sense. But the Milwaukee Bucks as a whole definitely failed this season. Just based on how good they were playing, I think they were playing just finals basketball, championship basketball in the regular season, and then they ended up losing to the number 8 seed in the Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never expected Hemi buckets to come out of nowhere and then just turn into prime Michael Jordan. No one expected that. So for this Milwaukee Bucks team, 100% a failure. But going back to Giannis's quote, everything he pretty much said was true. I think for a lot of athletes and stuff, that's just, to me, a lot of people are saying that is a bad mentality. But I think what Giannis is saying is kind of the mentality that some of the greats use as Kobe or Michael Jordan, but they just didn't really say it. What Giannis is kind of saying is that every single season that he has played in, he doesn't view it as a failure. He views it as steps to succeeding. So he views that as something that he's going to use as a lesson in his mind to just go harder. And I think that will happen for next year with the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Giannis is going to learn from his mistake in this playoffs. I think the mistake that he said he did was he kind of let the Miami Heat kind of go on runs and not really take them that serious. So next season, he's going to go out there and then he is going to take himself a little bit more serious, even though he is a pretty serious motherfucker. He isn't that much serious. He does make like dad jokes and cookie jokes. But I think next year, he's going to take himself a little bit more seriously. And he's going to be averaging 40 points, 50 points per game. I just really think with Giannis, he just has that really good mentality. You don't really see that from a lot of players this season, or just a lot of players in the recent seasons don't really take themselves that seriously, especially stars nowadays. So him saying that quote, it could be seen on paper as something that is just soft. But I think deep down, I really understand from experience what my guy Giannis is saying. I've been there, done that. I'm an NBA player. Sign me. I'm just Philadelphia 76ers. I'm here. I really think this quote had a lot more behind it. Just listening to that, it kind of does sound dumb and cringy, but. And then there's just a way I saw Nike using that quote kind of to thing it is kind of weird. So basically, I think that this Milwaukee Bucks team definitely a failure. I think Giannis knows that, but he is not going to view this as a failure. So he's not going to view this as a failure. It was a failure, and I think for him, steps and steps and steps for him to ultimately become one of the best players of all time. And I think that will happen for Giannis. This is going to be a really, really good offseason for Giannis. I think this is exactly what Giannis needed to turn that switch. If you do not have failure as a superstar, I don't really think you're going to be able to become one of the best players of all time. A lot of players in this NBA actually deflect from failure. You got players like Ben Simmons, who obviously is deflecting from failure. Players like Dylan Brooks, they say him to poke the bear and stuff, deflecting from failure. He don't even want to talk to the media no more, you know what I'm saying? So that's really, really stand on things with this Milwaukee Bucks team. They could potentially be moving players in the offseason, but ultimately I think that Giannis is the key player, and next season this motherfucker is gonna flip the switch. I could see him being in MVP conversations. So with that being said, what do you guys think about this quote that Giannis Antetokounmpo made? Josh Arch, the Archer. Do not forget to like and subscribe for a cookie, and I'm going to be giving that to you. I'm out.